You know that feeling, right? That moment when frustration just boils over and you're right on the edge? Well, we've all been there. So today, let's open up a practical toolkit with 5 super simple ways to keep your cool when things really start to heat up. So think about it for a second. What really pushes your buttons? Is it that crazy traffic jam when you're already running late? Maybe it's a piece of tech that just will not cooperate. Or, that one passive-aggressive email that just ruins your morning. We all have them, those personal triggers that can take us from totally calm to completely frustrated in a heartbeat. But here's the good news. You absolutely do not have to be a victim of those feelings. We're going to walk through a 5-step toolkit that gives you the power to take back control right in the middle of those frustrating moments. Okay, first up, let's talk about your emergency brake. Think of these next 2 steps as the first thing you do the second you feel your temper start to rise. This is all about stopping that negative reaction before it even gets started. Step 1. This sounds almost too simple, but trust me, it's a game changer. Just pause. The second you feel that flash of anger, just stop. Don't say a word, don't type a reply. That little gap, even if it's just for a few seconds, creates a buffer between the feeling and the action. It's your golden opportunity to stop yourself from saying or doing something you'll probably regret later. So you've hit the pause button. Awesome. Now, in that space you just created, you need a physical tool to calm your body down. Because let's be real, your heart's probably racing, your shoulders are tense. Slow, deep breathing is literally the fastest way to send a message to your nervous system that says, hey, false alarm, we can stand down. But we're not talking about just any old deep breath here. There's a specific technique to it, a little cycle that's designed to physically shut down your body's stress response. It's all about the timing. First, you're going to take a slow, steady breath in through your nose. Be deliberate about it. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, after you hold it for just a second, you're going to exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. And this right here is the most important part. The exhale is longer than the inhale. That long exhale is what really kicks your body's relaxation response into gear. It releases all that tension. Seriously, try it a couple of times. You will feel the difference almost immediately. Okay, so you've pulled the emergency brake. Your immediate physical reaction is calming down. Now we can move into the next phase, a little mental investigation to figure out what is really going on here. With a slightly clearer head, it's time to become a detective. You need to ask yourself this one simple question. But be honest, don't just settle for the obvious answer. Dig a little bit and try to figure out what the real source of this feeling is. And you know what? A lot of the time, you're going to find that the thing that just happened wasn't the real problem at all. Maybe it wasn't the traffic that got to you, but the fact that you're just exhausted from a long week. Or maybe that annoying email was just the last straw because you're totally stressed about a big deadline. When you identify the real trigger, the immediate problem suddenly loses a lot of its power. All right, once you know what's really bugging you, you can pull out another really powerful mental tool, shifting your perspective. This is all about making a conscious choice to look at the situation from a different angle, one that's way less emotionally charged. Just look at the difference here. The heated reaction screams, "This is a catastrophe." But a cooler perspective just asks, will this even matter tomorrow? The heated brain says, "They did this to me on purpose." While the cooler brain wonders, maybe they're just having a really bad day. That tiny little mental shift can completely change the emotional landscape and drain the anger right out of the moment. But let's be honest, sometimes you do all that and you still feel overwhelmed. Some situations are just too much to handle right then and there. And that is when you need the final tool in our kit, the essential reset button. And please, hear this. Stepping away is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of incredible self-control. It's you being smart enough to recognize that the best thing you can do right now is put some physical distance between you and whatever is causing the frustration. And removing yourself doesn't have to be some big dramatic exit. It can be as simple as taking a 5-minute walk around the building, just stepping outside to get a breath of fresh air, or even just turning your focus to a totally different, simple task for a couple of minutes. The whole point is just to break that emotional cycle and give yourself a full reset. So let's bring it all home. We've just walked through a complete 5-part strategy for handling those tough moments. Let's take one last look at your brand new toolkit. So just remember the sequence. First, you pull that emergency brake. You pause and you breathe. Then you start your mental investigation. Identify the real trigger and shift your perspective. And finally, if all else fails, you hit that big reset button. Step away. That's it. That's your entire plan. Now, the real power here comes from actually using the stuff. So the next time you feel that wave of frustration starting to build, which tool are you going to reach for first? Because just knowing which one to use, well, that means the battle is already half won.